How's it going, everyone? This is Levent, your host with Behind the Red, here with our guest today, Jack Haze, super talented producer and amazing content creator. Jack, how's your day going?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you guys for having me, man. For sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I kind of just want to, jump right into it. So you're from Canada, is that right?
Yes, sir. Born and raised from Canada. I'm from a small city called Sorel, but it's like an hour away from Montreal, pretty much. Yep.
That's what's up. Do you like go to Montreal a lot? Like, do you spend a lot of time there?
Um, yeah, I do. I did in the past, but mostly stay from like in my hometown here because I don't really need to go over there anymore. But when I do, it's mostly like just to go out, on a trip type shit. But I go there sometimes, yeah, for sure.
That's dope. So when I like first saw like your content, like I actually it's not like someone like it was recommended to me. I think it was on my explore page. And I was like, what is this? And it was like the FBI like laser engraving beat, and then like I wasn't expecting you for like to make something that hard. Like I've I was expecting something more like EDM or like techno, and then you kind of made something that was like more along the lines of like rage or like like more underground sounds. Like
Yeah.
that was super dope to me. But I want to ask, like, when did you get started? Like, how long have you been producing for?
So I've been actually producing for a while, man. I started when I was like 14, I think. I started playing drums. Like when I started getting into music, actually making music, started with drums. So like my parents actually just bought me a whole drum kit and stuff like that. And I was doing drums for like a year or two, and then I liked it, but like, I kind of wanted to try to making beats. So like my parents got me a laptop, and I was 14, I think at the time. Downloaded FL Studio. Um, I think it was like FL9 at the time, and then
Okay.
yeah, man,
Wow.
it's been history from there.
That's what's up. So, like, yeah, it feels like your go-to like digital audio workstation.
Yeah, I use FL pretty much all the time. I did use Logic when I had a MacBook back then, but I liked it, of course, but for me, I like the workflow of FL. I like everything about it, so I stuck with it.
I got you. Guys, take note. If Jack's using FL, that has to mean FL's goaded. Like, I don't want to hear any more of that Ableton, like Logic or whatever is better. FL Studio's up at the top. Here's the proof.
Yo, you know what? Somebody in my comments sometimes, some other day, they said that I looked like a Ableton user. So I don't know, man. Maybe I look like an Ableton user, but I'm not.
Man, that's wild, man. That's funny. I get
Yeah,
they're just coming at your neck, man, for no reason.
for sure.
It's dope. So, like, you have been making. I mean, I don't want to put like a label on it, but to me, if I could categorize your sound or like say anything, it's more like underground, like more like the new wave type of sound, like new, like not rage, maybe some rage, to some degree, but like that underground type of sound. Like, I wouldn't say almost inspired by like Future, or even now on like a newer note, like Yeet, or like a lot of those types of artists, like Jace, Autumn Summers. Is that like your favorite type of sound? Like, I guess production style, or is that something kind of like I feel like most producers go through waves or like phases. Is that like the type of sound you've always been a fan of?
Well, I mean, it's pretty new, of course, relatively speaking, the whole Yeet sound, I would say, with like the synthesizers and stuff like that. I think for me, it's kind of new. So like, I actually just listened to Yeet. Maybe I actually like learned about him maybe a year ago. Like I didn't really know like that whole subgenre of music. But I've always been somebody that listens to like trap and like even like gangster rap, stuff like that. I grew up on, Gucci. just listening to 808 Mafia, stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
So, I've always loved that trap atmosphere, that dark sound in a way. And I think the Yeet sound actually brings that a lot to life with, of course, the addition of like different instruments, but still kind of dark. So I would say my sound is kind of dark in a way. Because that's what I like, that's what I like listening to for. So, yeah.
that's what's up. Like I'm kind of on the same page with you. Like the dark sounds, like I don't want to say heavy synths, but like almost like inorganic sounds with like hard hitting drums. Like that is just I don't know. It's like especially like for me, like going to the gym, like that's like all I like listening to. That's honestly most of the time what I will listen to. So that's dope, man. Keep doing it. Like keep keep grinding. Like the beats that you made, well, at least the ones that I've seen on like for like the reels that you made or like things that you posted on Instagram, definitely fire, man.
Thanks, man, for
So
sure.
yeah, like moving into that, like how did you get into content creation? Like was this something you kind of just decided to do? Like, oh, here's a sample I found and flipped it, or was it more of like a calculated type of move?
No, it wasn't calculated at all, man. Like, for me, like why I started like the whole, because before I did reels, you also got to know that I was very deep into TikTok. So like that's where I got a lot of my notoriety as a producer, I would say, is through TikTok. And I started TikTok just like over a year ago because of actually the pandemic. So like um, I was doing music, but like it wasn't a full-time thing for me. I was just doing music to, as a hobby. And of course I was selling beats here and there, but it wasn't like full time. I was actually a student full time. So I was studying marketing. And I was doing Zoom classes through like right here, like how I'm speaking to you right now. And I figured, yo, this is boring as fuck, man. Like I gotta find something to, I gotta do something because I was home all day. So I started doing TikToks, and like from here on, it kind of built up, and then I got into content creation that way, pretty much, ever since.
That's what's up. Do you have you like experimented with different models of like I guess different formulas more so? Because like I've noticed like you'll take something, you'll take the sample with the video, you'll say something about it like I think it was like the paint one, like the paint machine one. You're like I don't know what language that is. Which by the way, that is Turkish. I
Yeah,
know 'cause, like I'm Turkish, and I was like, oh man, like he took a Turkish paint machine and like made this crazy beat with
yeah,
it. But yeah,
yeah,
like on the frog one, we were like, I don't know what the frog is doing. I mean, it's kind of relatable because I'm like, dude, I don't know frogs all like that, you know. But have you tried
yeah,
other
for sure.
things or like I think you
I
did like
did.
oh, what would future sound like on a Yeet type beat? Like, do you have any other ideas for things you could be doing, or like are you kind of just trying to stick with what works?
Well, as far as like TikTok and stuff like that, I'm doing a lot of like mashups and stuff like that, which we'll talk more later on. But before that, way before that, I was still doing content, but I was not doing it on TikTok, obviously, because it wasn't invented. So like I used to do YouTube videos, like I tried a whole bunch of different content ideas, but it kind of never stuck, until more recently. And that's where I started getting some traction. So like for the TikTok thing, I used to do a lot of mashups, and I still do, but um, when I started TikTok, I had like 200 followers and stuff like that. I did like tutorials, so like FL Studio tips and stuff like that, which, you know, I kind of developed. I didn't really get any views back then, but what I did get is knowledge of how the platform works. So like I knew that, okay, this type of video doesn't work. This kind of works out for me. And then I posted a video where I sampled the song Castaway, which is like the children's song. I don't know why it was a trend on TikTok back then, and I put Playboy Cardi on it, and I made a beat with it. So like I did this whole crazy mashup where like the children's song was playing, and like I had Playboy Cardi hop on that, which I did the mashup for, and it went viral. So like I was like, yo, this type of content works, man. So like it's finally sticking, and I just kept on doing these kinds of mashups, and it worked. And now more recently, as you mentioned, like the pain beat and stuff like that, that's more recent. I didn't do that before at all. I just saw like some sounds. I knew I wanted to do like the random samples thing, but I didn't know it was gonna turn out the way it's turning out, like that right now. But yeah, that type of content is fairly new for me, but I'm still exploring pretty much. Yeah.
Got you. I mean, it seems like the main theme here is that you've been like persistent, like staying consistent with like, I guess like putting out stuff. So like with
Yeah,
regards to
and I
like
think that's super important.
most definitely, I feel like that's where a lot of people fall through. Like, producers or, content creators alike. Um, with regards to like staying consistent, do you have any like advice that you want to like give to anyone who's trying to get into, I guess, a similar space, being like both a producer or like a content creator?
Well, I think first of all they go hand in hand, because like I always tell people like, because I used to do Fiverr when I was like, before TikTok. I used to do Fiverr, like these little gigs there to just to get some money there. And I used to tell people like, yo, you should just start doing content, like even if you're just a producer, because like when you think about it, you could be the best out there, and like if nobody knows about you, bro, like you're not gonna go anywhere. So content is a very good strategy and way to like put yourself out there. And I see a lot of talented musicians, more talented than I am, that like are not getting the recognition they deserve because like they're not putting themselves out there. So I would just say just try different things out, and like just just try it at least, because like some people don't even try it.
Got you. And like it's led to like a lot of big things. Like I think like for you, you got a placement with Dave East and Case. Like talk a little bit more about that. Like so Case discovered you, and then he used the beat that you gave him for a placement with Dave East. So like that kind of all came about just being online, right?
Right. So the way that turned out is actually crazy. And it goes to show like the power of like social media and like platforms and stuff like that. So I did a mashup back then called "What If Jack Harlow Sampled Camila Cabello," which was a mashup that had a lot of success on TikTok. I think it got like 500,000 views. So like it was amazing for me. I love this mashup, and like the reaction was just positive and stuff like that, which I was already happy. And then he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, that beat's nice. I'd be interested in having it." And I was ready to give it to away for free, because like I really like his energy. I like his persona and stuff like that. He's a really nice guy, by the way. I was
Oh,
ready to give him the beat for free, and then he's like, "Can you send me the track outs, like the stems?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'll send you the stems, but let me just come home, because I wasn't home, obviously." And then when I get home, he purchased the stems from my BeatStars. So like he was very serious about it, and like and then he hits me up. He's like, "Yo, I have Dave East on the song," which I didn't know that when he bought it. Like I didn't know there was a Dave East placement or something like that. He just told me like maybe a few days later, like, "Yo, we got Dave East, man." So I was like, "Wow, that's insane."
that's so fire,
And
bro.
he was super chill. He was super chill. He's actually in the Marines too, like, which is crazy to me. Like anyways, he's super chill, and we did the paperwork for like the publishing and stuff like that. So super cool guy for sure.
That's what's up. Laying down the bars and protecting the country at the same time. Like, what's not to respect about that?
Best of both worlds.
Thanks for real. So that's what's up, though. Do you have any other like? Are you like pursuing more placements with like Davies or Case, or like are there any other artists you're working with?
Well, definitely. I'm not too big on like chasing placements necessarily. I would rather it being genuine and having a long term relationship with a person than just being like, "Yo, I got a placement with this artist, but like I've never been in the studio with them. I don't have a relationship with them anyhow, so I'm not really like a placement chaser in a way. So obviously the case relationship is there. Um I've a lot of people hit me up in my DMs regarding like um just music in general, but I'm mostly on the relationship side of things. I don't really want to rush things at all. I like I said, I would rather have a good relationship with somebody and get a song with them than just me being here like just asking for placements or just sending a million emails.
Most definitely. I feel that. I feel like that's like such an underrated thing now, like relationships. Like people, I would say a lot of things in our modern society have gotten so transactional that people are kind of forgetting how to interact with each other. And like, more often than not, it's the people that have the best relationships that are the most successful.
Yeah, I think that's super important. At least how I was raised, um, and I try to apply that into the music too.
I respect that. So going back to the roots. So kind of going back to like living in Canada, like do you have like a is there like any like a Canadian cuisine or like is there a favorite Canadian dish that you have that you recommend?
Um, well, I would say if you ever come to Canada, I'm from Quebec, so like I'm from the French part, and here we have this dish called the poutine, which is poutine, if you want to say it correctly. Uh, I don't know if you ever heard about poutine.
I've heard about, yeah. That's what's up.
So that's
Kind of.
Yeah, that's like pretty much the main dish here. Obviously, there's a lot more there, but that's more like I would say the main uh, dish that you have here if you come visit. But definitely poutine's good. Um, I'm not a picky eater, man. I love everything, bro. Not gonna lie to you.
Hell yeah. I feel you. I'm like in the same boat. I think I've had like poutine once here, but like I've got to have like the real stuff. Like I probably gotta come out
Oh yeah,
there.
you gotta have the real thing.
Yeah, like it's have to at this point. So like being from Quebec, do you speak French too?
Yeah, so French is my first language, pretty much is French. And then so I went to an English school when I was young, which is here it's like uh, primary school, which I think is before middle school from in the US pretty much. um, and I got the chance to go to an English school because one of my parents went to an English school. So uh, pretty much there's a law here that if one of your parents or one of your family members has been to an English school before that law came up, you are eligible to go to an English school. If not, you can't go to an English school before like college. So I was lucky enough to have my dad, his parents sent him to an English school. So I had the opportunity to go to an English school, but not everyone can go because they kind of want to protect the language here. They kind of want to protect French. So it's like a big debate here on whether or not you should go to an English school, but that's another debate there. But I was fortunate enough to go.
Wow, that's such an interesting measure to like preserve tradition and culture. Like, I mean, I'm almost to a point where I'm sure like it can inconvenience some people. Like, you got lucky, but they're definitely. I'm sure there were some people who wanted to go to an English school but didn't have that chance. That's what's
Definitely.
up.
There's a lot for sure.
Got you. So when you're kind of locking in on us on the like a beat making session, do you have like a certain direction that you try to go? Are there certain types of beats that you prefer making or like making, or is it just whatever you feel?
Well, I would say, well, definitely, everything related to trap. I love making. I do a lot of different things too, but I mean, the things that you would see the most on like my platform are trap, and I think that's kind of like where my sound is evolving as far as me. But I also do different stuff. I did a lot of like sync stuff as well for like um movies and stuff like that, which I never got placed obviously, but I like doing that. I like doing just drumless stuff. I do a lot of stuff R&B too, but mostly trap. I would say is my favorite genre to make for sure.
That's what's up. Respect it. Do you have like a favorite go-to plugin, like either sound design or like mixing related?
Oh man, I got a lot actually. Um, I've been fucking with a lot of Serum recently, and I think you could tell with like the whole Yeet stuff and stuff like that. Um, I'm a big fan of like Analog Labs too. Love that plugin as far as sounds there. There's a lot, yeah, for sure. There's different Contact. I can't live without Contact.
I feel you. That's what's up. So like, do you use any like plugins for drums as well, or do you use more so like samples and like a lot of sound design you say for like melodies?
I would say I use a lot of drum kits for like drums. Uh, I got a bunch of drum kits. Obviously, I think every producer has like a bunch of drum kits. Um, and I think for melodies, a lot of people use one shots now, but I kind of never got into it. I just rather open up a plugin and just go ham.
I feel you. Like using one shots is just to make melodies.
Yeah, as far as melodies, a lot of people use. I know. I know. A lot of YouTubers use one shots and like they really prone it and put it forward. But I tried it, but like I never got to. I don't know. I just don't think it's like fun at all. Well, not that it's not fun, but like I'd rather open up a plugin type shit.
I feel you. I also feel like one shots kind of like have certain limitations. Like when you're like for certain applications, like you probably need to like manipulate a little bit, like stretch the sample instead of keeping it on like resample, just so like
Yeah,
the time the signature doesn't like affect it. Um, but I mean they're more accessible compared
yeah,
to
for
plugins,
sure.
so I think that's probably like another reason. But I feel you.
And
Like
they're good if you have low CPU too. So, like, if you can't run, like, Omnisphere, stuff like that, I would say one shots all the way.
most definitely. Where else? What's up? So if you could work with anyone, like who would your dream collaborator be?
As far as, like, producer or artist.
I mean, either or. I Let's go with both. Like, who's one producer you wish you could work with, and who's one artist you wish you could work with?
Damn, that's a tough one. Dead or alive?
Oh man, uh,
Now I'm asking the
let's see.
questions.
Yeah, let's see. Well, like either or. I feel like a legend is a legend, regardless of if they're dead or alive.
Damn, a lot of people, man. I would say as far as producers, damn, that's a tough one, man. Let's say top 3, producers. I like to work with a lot of people, but I would say, I don't know, maybe Metro, Kanye in a way, because I think Kanye is, like, super misunderstood producer type. I don't know. I think he's very, very smart. Also on the marketing side too, like, not just beats, but, like, marketing and stuff like that. Kanye definitely.
Definitely genius.
Um, and then number 3, damn, I don't know, man. Oh, yeah, I know. Um, Mike Dean. Mike Dean is the GOAT.
Of
I love
course,
Mike Dean.
definitely is the go. Shout out Mike Dean.
I would say Mike Dean. I would say Mike Dean, and then Kanye,
Mike
and
Dean
then
over
Metro.
everyone. I feel that. That's what's up. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
honestly, I wish I could
I
just
love
meet
his
Mike
sound.
Dean and be
I
like,
love
man,
him.
Bless the world, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. So, do you have any plans to like release your own music?
I do. I do. I was just talking about that with one of my friends recently. I want to do a project with like a whole bunch of rappers, which I just produced the whole beats for. Which I'm still in the thoughts of doing it there.
That's what's up. I mean, is this like more of like a recent idea?
Yeah, it's more of a recent idea. Which it's in the works there. But I recently dropped my first single there, the Paint beat, which is actually from the Paint TikTok that you mentioned. So I dropped it on Spotify. It got some good reception, man. I think we hit 50,000 streams already, which is crazy to me. This is my first like single out in a way. So yeah,
I mean, that's my playlist. I need to, I need to hear that at least once a week, man.
for sure.
That's dope though. Like, I want to say like even if you don't have as many artists on there, I would definitely listen to just a beat tape if you produce it and release it like that. Not quite sure if that's as big of a priority, but like definitely consider it because like your beats are dope. You're definitely talented. Like keep pushing.
Yeah, thank you, man. I know a lot of people like it too. Like 'cause I got a lot of good reception on the Paint beat, and a lot of people just listen to it, like you said, just going in the gym and stuff like that. Just yeah, it's very nice. It's very fun to see the reaction.
Definitely. Sometimes it's just about the vibe and like the energy. Like sometimes like I feel like rap has evolved from like more of a conscious place where like lyricism was very involved, and now like I would say like that there's like a huge market demand for kind of just like type of music that doesn't you don't need to be as invested in like the lyrical content of it, but like just how it makes you feel. And like that's kind of why
Definitely.
I like Yeet too. Like Yeet's fire. Yeet does have bars, don't get me wrong, but like, if I'm not sometimes if I'm not actively trying to listen to what he's saying, it's like, it's kind of just like the energy that he has in his voice that's really carrying the song compared to like what he's really saying.
Yeah, definitely, and I love that about, like, the new genres and, like, the new era of rap. It's not only, of course, like you said, the lyrics are important, but, like, the whole general vibe is more important in a way?
Yeah, no, that's facts. And, like I feel like that's gonna be a continuing trend. Like I would say like there's a lot of saturation right now. There's probably going to be
Yeah,
like more we're probably going to see like the more different styles of people like cutting through, but like I think like just the demand for like just songs that like bring that energy, that have that type of like energy that just makes people get to like just feel different. I think that's probably going to
yeah,
continue, I guess evolving into something else. Like
exactly, and we saw it with, like, um, hyperpop, you know? I didn't know about that genre, like I said, like, before maybe a year ago or stuff like that, um and I started making, hyperpop beats, like, I'm not saying, like, rage beat, I'm saying, like, super weird hyperpop. I didn't even know that was a thing, like, it's so fun to see these trends and, like, these ideas evolve? It's so fun as a producer to just try it out and, like, I don't know, just have fun with it.
most definitely, and like I think it's just like the fan base for that type of sound is just like so big because like I mean if in my opinion I think like what started this is like Pierre and Cardi, and like they started like that sound, and then that evolved, and then you see Trippie Red drop Mr. Rage, and then Rage really blew up, and then it's like everyone was dropping on like Rage beats and making Rage beats, and then now it's kind of like not as like I want to say that the hype's not as there as much as it was before, but it's still there. And like now it's at a point where it's like the people who are masters of this craft are like taking it somewhere else, and like now it's in another evolutionary phase where like I don't know, I guess like the name is like underground. But are you familiar with like super trap?
I am, I am. I actually got, I actually, met s different people over the months and that actually produce, um, hyper trap and stuff like that, which to me, I love hearing it, but, like, I can't really wrap my head around, like, just, like, making it for some reason, but I love the genre, you know, I love it.
Most definitely. It's definitely like a busier sound compared to like Rage, where it's like
Yeah,
a lot of like the sound is like taken up by the synths and like the melody, and like you kind of need to come like deliver a certain way to like to fit the pocket of the beat. When like this is even more busier and it's like almost like dubstep inspired. So like that's kind of interesting, but
yeah,
that's kind of my prediction for where like this sound will like eventually evolve or like go into. And it's gonna do its own little thing and then move into somewhere else. But it's super interesting, like being able to like witness all of this and like being someone who could like partake in it.
definitely.
Like I'm sure you kind of feel the same way.
And we saw I don't know if you noticed, but, like, I don't know if, like, that's a thing now, but, like, glow beats, like, from, like, the Chief Keef era, like, with the whole brass and stuff like that, it's kinda, like, not trending, but, like, it's kinda coming back, man. Like, I love to see it 'cause I was listening to a lot of Chief Keef back then, like, Love Sosa, stuff like that, which I find is kinda cool that it's kinda coming back, man.
I definitely agree. Like I'm a big fan of Chief Keef, and like a lot of artists, well, like where I'm located around, like those, there are artists that have been using that type of production where it's like big like triumphant like like horns, brass sounds, and then just like hard drums with that. And it's like you expect to hear someone like Chief Keef, but Chief Keef's like a legend, so he been done that. But it's like there are more artists trying to pick up that sound. It's raw. It's definitely super raw.
It is, and also, if you don't mind me, like, just the fact that, like, these newer, producers, because I'm a lot on TikTok, so, like, I see a lot of younger producers, so, like, 16, 17-year-olds just started making beats, and, like, they just do, like, they're into, like, the glow beats, so, like, the Chief Keef beats, but, like, they didn't really grow up on Chief Keef, so that's funny to me, just seeing that evolution of beats come again into history, but they kinda, like, never, knew about Chief Keef when they were younger, obviously, because 'cause they're young. So, it's funny to me, just history repeats itself kinda way.
Definitely. It's I read this book. It's called like How to Steal Like an Artist, and like the whole idea of the book is like, all right, if you like something, take it, but don't like copy it in a way. But like really, like the true mastery of it comes when you add your own style to it, because then you're like serving doing the art form justice versus like blatantly
Yeah,
copying something. There's not really much originality in that. But kind of like the premise of the book was like, all right, take what you like, and then once you're done taking, you're gonna find out what you're really like, what you like, and then from there you can kind of like keep going and like really contribute what you like to the world, even though it may be inspired by certain things. At that point, it won't be copying; it'll be something else.
definitely, I couldn't agree more, for sure.
Oh yeah. So going back to some of like these sample type beats that you made, like where do you find those samples? Like, or do you just go through like TikTok and you're like, oh, let me take this real quick.
Yeah, kinda way. Like, when I started making them, I was always searching for, like, my For You page just scrolling like, "What can I sample?" Like, "What can I sample next?" But now, like, ever since I got some views on these types of content videos, of these types of videos, a lot of people tag me in, like, stuff now. So, like, they'll tag me in, like, "Yo, Jack, check it out." So, like, they'll tag me in this, I don't know, like, bird making a sound, whatever, or like the laser, as you mentioned, the laser one, somebody tagged me in, the police one as well, somebody tagged me in, like, so I just go and check it out, and if I like it, I download it and just sample it.
That is so fire. You just got the fans like finding samples for you.
Yeah, at this point, it's crazy to me, man.
That's like half the work. Your fans are definitely like
Exactly.
shout out to Jack's fans. Shout out to Jack's fans, legends, legends in the making. You know, definitely should not go uncredited. Like, what, man? That's so fire.
I try sometimes to credit them, but I'll mostly credit like the owner of the actual video. So like I sampled like a virus on a computer the other day, just some random like virus, and I tagged the owner of the video, and then he actually saw it. He's like, "Yo, how the hell do you make that?" Like that's crazy.
That's raw, man. Like, keep it up. That's super dope. So, like, of those beats, do you have one that's your favorite? Like, you released the paint beat. Like, is that your favorite? Like, I guess random sample beat that you made, or like, is there one that like
Um,
you really love?
don't get me wrong, I love the paint beat, bro. Like I love it. I've worked on it very long, um, but I would say my favorite one right now is the robot beat number 2. I don't know if you listened to that one.
Is that the one where it's like a square and then there are lines in this like not a square, like a rectangle, and then there are lines in the rectangle? That one's
Yeah, so,
crazy.
like, it's a whole machine that just takes a pen and draws it automatically. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
But I did 2 of these. So I did one. It didn't really get any attention. Well, it did, but, like, it didn't get that much attention. And then I did a second one, which is the paint beat number the excuse me, robot beat number 2, and this one caught a lot of attention. I think that's my favorite one, as of now. It's so fucking hard, man, like, it's crazy, like, it's crazy.
That's what's up, man. Like, it's always like I've tried to like listen to every single beat that I could find of yours. And I was like, man, like this dude just doesn't miss, bro. These are all crazy. Like, these are insane, man.
Thank you so
So that's
much,
dope,
man.
man.
Appreciate
But the
it.
robot beats though, like definitely raw. I agree. But for me, I think my recently it was definitely the engraving one, like the FBI the engraving machine. And then I like the frog one
Yeah.
too. The frog one, I think you did that one recently. That one's pretty fire.
Yeah, the frog one too. Yeah, yeah. It's actually good. Yeah, I liked it. Like it too.
So, like, being a producer, do you have any plans to like relocate in efforts to like try to I guess position yourself better to work with certain artists or have better opportunities, or do you think like being in Canada and like kind of like having um, like a virtual environment and like working virtually with these artists is more of like a better way to go?
Well, of course, like the virtual side of things is always simpler, right? You could just send beats out and everything like that. But I really want to take it to where like I could just go into the studio with like an artist, you know, which I do that, but like I want to take it to a step further with like um other people in the industry, bigger artists too, and just build it again, like I said in the beginning, just building these connections, but in the studio this time because like I was doing a lot of like you said, virtual stuff like that, content, and just sending beats out. But I really want to take it to the step where like I could just go hang out in the studio with like a bunch of artists and just make some music, man. Just make some good music. So either whether it be I don't know, whatever it takes me, but, like, maybe Toronto, maybe LA even. We'll see. We'll see where it takes us, man.
That's what's up. Well, I mean, I hope wherever your music journey takes you, that you end up going to, I guess, like a place that really like help you like unleash your true potential, and like help you rise up to where you want to go.
For sure.
And yeah, so kind of just like to wrap things up, do you have any plans for the rest of the year? Yeah, sorry about that. And do you have any advice for people kind of doing the same thing as you, like producers or content creators trying to find success, either online or in person?
Well, I would say as far as, like, my short to medium term goals, I would say just staying consistent, because it's hard sometimes when you put out like 5, 6, 7 different content pieces per week. It gets kind of hectic sometimes, especially with like you know life. It gets hectic. So I would say my main goal right now is just to stay consistent, and just linking up with some newer artists too, and just being consistent in that route as well. And that brings me to, if I could give any advice to like producers, is start making content. And I don't know if you listen to a lot of Gary Vee, but Gary Vee says that a lot. Just like make content about what you're passionate about. If you're a producer, make content about producing, and if you're, I don't know, like a cook, make some content about it. You never know who's gonna watch it. You never know who's gonna watch you. Sometimes it may be, if you're a cook, you don't know. It may be Gordon Ramsay watching you, man. You don't even know. You know.
Most definitely. I think that's something that like a lot of people don't really consider. It's like they're more almost like concerned about who's going to see their content compared to like who has the potential to access it, who could find you. So it's definitely like that's a fresh perspective.
Just to give you an example, if we still have time, I actually posted. I think it was the machine beat number two that I was mentioning you about. And I look at my comments on TikTok. I look at my comments, and I saw that the producer Zaytoven commented on the video. I'm like, what the fuck, Zaytoven, man? I grew up on him. Like,
That's so
you never
fire,
know.
man. I mean, that motivates you. I'm sure that motivated you to like keep going. Like man, I gotta
Of
keep
course, of
putting out these
course, that's
beats, man.
crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, that's so fire, man. That's dope. Definitely inspiring. I definitely say, shout out to like the modern producers and like I'm glad that we could have this conversation. I think like it's gonna you're definitely put a lot of a game, put a lot of people onto game with like both content creation, like being a producer, and like I guess like this time, like this current era that we're in. So
For
I
sure.
definitely want to thank you
Just
for
gotta
your
take
time.
advantage of it.
And most definitely, yeah. But yeah, man, I just, thank you for your time. Thanks for like taking the time out of your day to like have a conversation. It was definitely cool, talking to you and getting to know you. And yeah, I just want to wish you the best of luck with your production endeavors going forward. Definitely, we'll be looking out for like future BC drop.
Trust me, there will be a lot more. Trust me.